My name is Marcelo Viana Neto. I am a professor of game design at Hostos Community College in the South Bronx. I'm also a game designer, a game developer, artist, working in 3D and graphic design, and I'm originally from Brazil. When I was younger, I was drawing all the time. I was reading comics and playing games. But I sort of like paid attention in class because I was doodling all the time. I would draw like Spider-Man and other comic book heroes and things like that, like constantly. I also had a band for a while. I learned how to play the guitar. And growing up in Brazil, obviously, I played a lot of soccer. That's just in the blood. So what made gaming really interesting to me as a career is because it combines a lot of my interests, most of my interests into one. So I can make art, I can design, I can come up with stories and ideas, but also the fact that it lets me sort of, be kind of a nerd, honestly, and do create worlds and create interactions and create art that other people can interact with. And I think that the sort of component of trying to learn to figure out how to put this all together is also really huge, because I love to learn. Like I said, being sort of a self-described nerd, like that's one of the things I love the most, is just learning. So to make games, you have to learn so much, and that's really exciting to me. You don't constantly have to learn things. The thing that I find most exciting is that component of how it all comes together, helping you understand things around you better, and understand people, and find your place in all of this mess, right? So I love making art. I love coding. I love putting it all together, and the puzzle of making a game be a game. But in the end, I think that like the process of game design makes me just makes me understand things better. And just honestly, like I said before, I honestly feel that after I started making games, I have grown as a person. I think games are really powerful as a medium because they I think everybody understands the games are interactive, so that gives that component of if me as a player, I have an actual effect on the thing that's happening on the screen, which is different from other media, right? Like, I mean, I love comic books, movies, all that stuff, animation, but in a game, there's that component of agency. The first advice that I would give to anybody that wants to be making games is to just make games. That's what I tell my students. Just make games. Everybody has grown up making games, actually. Every single person makes games when they're young, or a modification to a game. Like you make a hide and seek mod when you're like 5 years old, that's a game. So just make stuff. Ideas are actually not that hard to come by. Ideas are fine. Lots of people, I mean, especially, I know I'm a work in New York City. I'm from Brazil. Like everybody around me is super creative all the time. My students are incredible. That's the one thing. And then the second thing is making anything is way better when you make it with other people. So if you're interested in making games and you start making games, number one, I think you already will meet people because you're making stuff, especially if you share with other people, they'll start talking to you, etc. But then just go to events, not just game playing events, but game making events. So like those two things combined, like having, community, but also like just making stuff, is all you need.